This podcast is brought to you by Penji. Penji is a creative subscription service that gives you access to pre-vetted, agency-trained creatives from all over the world. From graphic design to illustrations to social media management and web development, it's all included for one monthly price. It's time to say goodbye to the hassle of searching for top-notch creative talent. With Penji, you get quality and consistency delivered right to your inbox every day. Carefully crafted for you by humans, so meet your new creative team today. Head over to penji.co for more and enter the coupon code located within the podcast show notes.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the First 100 podcast. This is the podcast where we explore the journey of entrepreneurs, business owners, agency leaders, and many more people as they share their strategies, the challenges and triumphs that led them to secure their first 100 customers, 100 followers, first 100. I'm your host, Daniela, and I'm Penji's partnership coordinator. Today, I'm joined with a very special guest, Kayla Lindsay. Hi, Kayla. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Very happy. Very excited to have you here. For anybody that doesn't know who you are or what you do, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're all about?
Yes. Real estate and YouTube. I didn't coin it, but enough people keep saying it to me that I will just go ahead and say hashtag YouTube queen. So I've been in real estate over 9 years and have used various methods to business, but my business took a massive turn when I realized how I could incorporate YouTube into my real estate business to actually double. And at this point, I'm going to double again my business in sales and actually lead to even more opportunity just by being a part of YouTube.
That's very interesting. So you essentially were already a business owner in the real estate world before you went into social media, right?
I was, and I actually did not understand the power of social media. My first aha moment of social media was viewing another one of the agents in my office. I knew his numbers. We were close. But with that being said, I was watching his Facebook and I kept seeing these posts and like, wow, he must be doing a lot better than I thought he was. And he wasn't, but the perception that was put forward because he was doing so much content was that he was doing more than he was, which started attracting more and more people to him. And that was literally my first aha. I think that was 2018, which is when I first started getting into Facebook. I first started dipping my toe into video and not full on. Obviously, it took me a little while, but it's something that just clicked. That said, okay, if I'm thinking this and I know his numbers, what are clients thinking? And that made all the difference.
So how exactly does YouTube help you enhance marketing for real estate specifically? I think that's a very specific sort of niche that you've grown. We haven't had a lot of people talk about it, and it's quite interesting.
I think, and I love that question. I think YouTube is seen as something more difficult than it really is. You know, we're talking, you've got Instagram over here, where it's like 7-second videos and you can make millions, you know, then you've got email marketing, you've got website development, you've got all of these other avenues. And here's the thing, they all work if you work it. So for YouTube, what I decided to do was I was going to focus on individuals who didn't already have an agent. Who doesn't already have an agent? People that don't live in the area, right? You could probably throw a rock and hit a real estate agent in any crowd. And I say that kindly, not actually throwing rocks. But you could hit an agent anywhere because there's enough of us. So where do the top 1% come from? Where do they lean in? They find a niche. My niche, by using YouTube, became people relocating to my area. People had no idea about the area. They literally picked a place on a map and they said, let's start doing research. And when they started doing research, that's when they found me. And that's when they started binge watching my content. And then they become clients. So this started affecting my business. The first year I did it, I had about, I think it was like 30 closings from YouTube. And now I've got 50 closings already this time of year, all from YouTube. But it's because I am focusing on bringing information, clarity, my opinion of areas, as well as comparisons to other areas of the country, to those that are thinking of making the move. So by honing in on that, I've got a very niche focus, and they don't know anyone else to call except for the person that they've been seeing over and over on the channel every time they log in. So that's where they start honing in. And that's where my business has been coming from.
That's very sort of, I think what's really interesting to me is that you have planned this out really well, right? It didn't just come out of the blue. You have an objective for your socials. I think a lot of people who are trying to grow on social media struggle with what that purpose is. And then they get stuck because there is no, direct thing that they're doing. Obviously, from what you're saying, there's a lot of other things that come into play. You obviously are doing a lot of SEO, a lot of lead generation. But do you think these are like the biggest factors that have helped you grow, or is it another kind of strategy?
It absolutely has. So SEO, which for those of you who are newer listening to even this podcast, or just newer to social media in general or the internet, and I say that kindly because I was one of those people, SEO, that phrase terrified me because I had no idea how to work it. Like, you're like, optimize the SEO. And I'm picturing these like super hackers in the background, like making the best website known to man, right? SEO stands for search engine optimization. And what that means is the more times you tell the search engine what your content, your page, your information is about, the more it's going to push you to the top of the list when someone searches for that. And the more people are going to find it. So for example, when I'm making a video about the best neighborhoods in Charlotte, that's where I am, Charlotte, North Carolina. Shout out to anybody from here. When I'm making a video about the best neighborhoods in Charlotte, guess what? I'm going to say that over and over and over. I'm going to put it into the title. So now the closed captioning picks it up. The title picked it up. The description picked it up. The keyword that I'm using is going to pick it up. And now the algorithm in the search engine, because YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, owned by Google. So now we can leverage Google too, without paying for those ads to be at the top of the page, or or ads. They get cheeky with it now too. They're like, it's not an ad. Don't worry. Just click. Yeah. So it allows you to have for free this broad depth of people finding you because you optimize your video. There is no doubt for the algorithm when they're putting it out in front of someone as to what your content is about. So it helps more people find your content, and then it doubles down. It keeps compounding because now the more people that find it and look at it, the algorithm goes, okay, so Bonnie, Jimmy, and Ashley all loved this content and they've been doing these searches. We're going to go ahead and find other people like them and put Kayla's videos in front of those people as well. So this is, it's a living organism. I mean, it's not, but it is. It's constantly learning and pushing and making sure your content's found. Where so many people fail on this is they fail to understand SEO. They fail to understand optimizing keywords and do all these things. And there's systems to help you. I'm not the smartest person in the world, guys. Like, I'm not. I like, there's nothing special about me. I am not a wizard. The most I could do when it came to coding was MySpace way back in the day, dating myself.
I like when to create background.
I have no idea. Like, if you put it in front of me today, I would have no idea what I'm looking at. So it's very straightforward and very easy. But what we have to understand is that YouTube is a search engine. It is a powerful search engine, and we don't realize how often we use it or how often even Google leans on the content in YouTube to push out to answer people's questions. So just put yourself in the position of, even outside of real estate, let's say you're in construction. What are the top 20 questions you get on a monthly basis from potential clients? How do I estimate what my budget can be? Where's the best place to find this, and this? Give people the information, have a solid call to action for you to be the solution into that. And then boom, you've got business coming in. This can be repeated over and over and over, the system I put together for any industry. That it comes down to basic understanding of SEO, knowing your client and your niche, and then honing into it over and over and over again. And redoing the same videos are not a bad thing, by the way.
And reusing them for like different purposes.
Exactly. That, or even it's been 2 years and, 2 years ago, let's say you're in, oh my gosh, you're in, oh my gosh, what's it called when someone does facials? And I can't remember.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's say you're in like skincare, right? And you did a video 2 years ago about the top 5 worst brands to buy over the counter for your skin. Well, guess what? It was 2 years ago. So while the content is still relevant, people that are looking at it, they might want the newer video. So although yours had views, they're going to find the newest one to make sure they're getting the most updated information. So you can go redo that video and maybe tweak it slightly. You might have a different editor or different editing at that time. Just go redo it because most people are just going to go watch the newest one anyway. So you don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. Exactly.
Yeah. And it's definitely going to save time I think a lot of people are always trying to just come up with new content. And a lot of times people just want the same thing, just the updated version, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And there's so many different ways to do it. Most of my students, so I teach on how to do YouTube for real estate agents, but actually launching a new program for people of any background and any business background because it's so powerful to use once you understand the formula. So this can absolutely be done regardless of what business or what industry you're in. You just need to know what your goal is. And if you have that, we can completely work backwards and figure out where you need to be and what you need to do.
That's very interesting, I think, because a lot of people think of social media for more entertainment purposes, and they tend to not understand that the power of it is actually, it's very versatile and it can be used in very different ways. And I mean, something like real estate, I don't think people would immediately think, oh yeah, that's for YouTube.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Social media, people want to be taught or they want to be entertained, one or the other. So for me, my entertainment, I go to TikTok, but I still learn things there. I have a ton of recipes that I've saved just from watching a TikTok, right? I have learned different tactics for, taking my kid to the beach, like hacks for taking my son to the beach. I've learned all kinds of things. But when I research, I'm going to YouTube. Aside from, so you've got TikTok, you've got Instagram, and we see all the time, right? 7-second videos, great. The challenge for someone who owns and runs a business is that those platforms, while they don't take a whole lot of time for someone to consume the content, it actually takes a lot of time for you to make it. So you're making the content, but you also have to show up every single day in your stories, interacting with people, creating the reels, creating all kinds of things, right? And then you got to guide them down the path to take the next step and the next step. The powerful thing about YouTube is people can auto binge watch your content. And then they realize, oh, this is the person I want to work with. And it's as simple as I'm going to call them. But I'm not on every day. In fact, I usually schedule my content for 2 weeks out. So for example, a week ago, I scheduled to post on Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Thursday. And I don't really have to, quote unquote, show up to work for almost 2 weeks. And I'm going to get business in because my YouTube channel is doing the selling for me. In fact, about 75 hours in a 24-hour period are being watched. So I'm hitting my ideal customer 74 hours a day, 76 hours, it usually ranges within a 24-hour period. It's impossible for me to do that. I'd have to hire 50 VAs. And even then, they may not be hitting my ideal audience. They're just hitting random people. So it is one of the most powerful things that you could do for your business. And I feel like a lot of people run away from that. It was oh, it's been done. It's already saturated. People are on there, but most aren't doing it the right way. So if you could do it the right way, which is not all that hard, you could be ahead of the curve. And there's plenty of business out there. You just have to be more places. But you can utilize social media, YouTube, your website, tracking, all of that to automate this, but still be you, in essence, cloning yourself, which is legal on the internet.
It is legal. So is your website linked to your YouTube channel too?
So it is. Now, my goal for my website is to push people back towards my YouTube channel. But what we've done due to what I've been putting together for my website, and I've changed it up a little bit, is I have embedded video to help push the SEO, to help push the algorithm, right? Because all the words I'm saying are closed captioned. So it's helping my website push and boost as well. And the cool thing is there's different trackers and things that you can put into a website to allow you to start retargeting your audience that's coming into view. Now I'm not going to go cold call someone. I did that for years. I'm not doing it anymore. But as someone comes to my website, I want to know that I'm capturing their information so I can keep having my automations follow up, meaning they're seeing me pop up the first time they open up YouTube. I'm on their suggested watch list constantly, but it's because I collected their information and their data legally. It is illegal to do when they came to my website, but they still get all the information they need on my website as well. The idea is that we don't have to reinvent the wheel with the content we're providing. All right. Don't overwhelm yourself with like, I have to figure out this new thing no one's ever known before. Just provide the information people want in the platform they desire it in. Do they want to read it? Great. Have blogs on your website that are SEO heavy. And this is going to go ahead and pull in more leads. Do they want to watch a video? They're going to go to your YouTube channel, right? They're just going to consume it in the way in which they want to consume is basically what it comes down to. So don't reinvent the wheel, just be yourself and bring them the content they need.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually was wondering, since you have sort of these things kind of linked in together, how has the process of actually creating all of that been for you? Since, I mean, I think a lot of people get kind of scared when it comes to web design and web development and then, content creation. Like, it's easy to have all of this mapped out, but the execution can be very scary for people. How have you navigated all that?
It's not bad. Now I did take things one piece at a time, right? I didn't go in and create my channel and then put these links to it and then go create guides and put all this in this website together and then do the back end. Like it didn't happen in a day. I did it over a period of time. As I got one thing set up, I'm like, all right, let's have the next piece, the next piece. The number one piece I had to set up though, with my channel, so sorry, I have dogs. The number one thing I had to set up though was my channel and make sure that it was properly optimized. That means the descriptions, was I hitting the right target audience? So that was step one. Step two was ensuring I had enough video to keep putting the content out there twice a week. So my first 6 months, I did 2 videos a week consistently every single week on the same days. That is impactful for you because YouTube's going to say, okay, they're actually going to keep posting stuff. We're going to start pushing it. And now they're going to push your videos to people. Now, mind you, my first 6 months, I had 100 subscribers. Not a whole heck of a lot. But here's where it starts to compound. My first year, I took 5 months off from real estate, which if anybody's even familiar with real estate, that's 1, almost impossible. 2, good luck making money. Well, I still did over $500,000 in commissions that came in, and 186,000 of that was from YouTube. That was in my first year of doing YouTube. This year, I'm up to $400,000 just by doing YouTube. Those are just YouTube leads generated by this time of year, which this is early September. So with the trajectory of that, you can see how it's going to keep compounding. But what I did was now I'm just doing 1 video a week. I've done 1 video a week for the last 2 years. That's it. So as I got my channel set up and was doing consistent video, now I had content that I could put blog posts and things like that onto my website. So then I created that website. I've taught on this for a long time at this point. Those that have a website that has the embedded links of video, that has the blog posts that are SEO optimized, that has the trackers, like that are doing that things are automated more often than not, are doing a little bit better than the ones that don't, that are just doing YouTube. It's about consistently supporting your client and bringing them back to where they need to be so that they're encouraged to do the action you keep asking them to do, which is call you, text you, email you, or set up a meeting on your calendar. And eventually they do it. They just need to see you a few times. So to answer your question, everything in chunks. Do not overwhelm yourself by thinking you have to have the best setup ever made right now. Just start with the channel, start with a video, and keep growing, and it will grow with you.
Yeah. And I think like a lot of people I would say I've seen a lot of people get overwhelmed because a lot of them are maybe trying to focus on the product that they're trying to sell for their business or the service that they're offering or, whatever that business is about. And they don't want to have their minds on any of the other stuff, right? They don't want to, they're like, I've had people who are like, well, I'm not a designer. I can't design. I don't want to do all of this graphic design, or I don't want to do all of this video because I don't want to be on camera. And I think like it's very overwhelming for a business owner who's like, well, I have to sort of do all of this now, even if I'm not a designer and I'm not a content creator and I'm not all of these things.
Well, so here's what I would tell you with that. 1, the video part's really easy, right? You're going to regurgitate the content that's already out there in your own words, and then you're going to send it to your editor. I'm a huge believer in leverage. There's a reason I was able to have a baby, take 5 months off, and double my income. It's because I leveraged YouTube to sell for me. I leveraged a VA editor to edit my videos and post them for me. I leveraged my assistant to help make sure emails were answered and get people on my calendar. And I leveraged my web designer to make sure that it was set up where everything was flowing smoothly. And then I even leveraged, again, my VA to help me with my blog posts. So by doing this, you're probably going, yeah, but there's a cost. You said YouTube is free. YouTube is free. Free to post, free to advertise, free. Well, if you're paying for ads, different, but free to advertise your services out there. The cost is nominal compared to what the return is. Now, when I say return, I don't mean just money financially. I mean time, right? For those of you that have kids out there, or maybe just want to spend more time mountain biking, right? You want to leverage that time where you're not the one constantly doing it. And that's what I encourage people to do, leverage it. The second piece to this, when we're talking about, okay, well, I'm unsure, I don't want to be on camera, I don't know, your editor is going to make you look amazing. So just record it and send them whatever you have, and they're going to make it happen. But the third piece I usually hear is either I don't have time. By the way, it takes me about an hour a week. Not too bad compared to where I was doing 3 hours of cold calling a day. And the other part that I hear is, yeah, but what do I talk about? I don't want to give away my secret sauce. So those of us that are in a service industry, a lot of times we have that, hey, play the cards close to the chest, hire me and I'll tell you, right? And I get that. But if we were to listen to, some of the experts in the field when it comes to marketing, like a Gary Vee has everything that he teaches actively available on YouTube for free. The thing is, people pay for simplicity and they pay for a system. So whether you're a real estate agent and you're giving a ton of information and factoids, guess what? Someone still wants to hire you because one, you've already proven you know what the heck you're talking about. They've gotten some knowledge from you, but they still want someone to hold their hand, right? They're not going to make a $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 purchase without someone telling them it's okay. Like, this is how we need to do it to do the right thing. If you're in, let's say, a general contractor, give the information. Tell someone what to look for in a contractor. Tell someone what not to look for. Tell them that you aren't the one for the job if you're looking to do X, Y, Z, but to still reach out to you because you have people that do, and set up a referral to somebody else, right? There's so many different ways to do this. Like, give the information, because they're still going to call you because they still aren't going to do it on their own. Why? They don't have the experience you do. And you've already proven you know exactly what needs to happen, and you're going to make their lives easier.
And sometimes information is great, but if you don't know how to use it, it's like, what am I doing anyways?
Yes, exactly. Information's powerful, but only if you know how to wield it.
Yeah, literally. If you don't, you're just kind of like, okay, I have all this knowledge and it's just there.
Exactly.
Okay.
So,
Kayla, it's been great having you on the podcast today. I think you're very, I would say you say things very clearly and very easy to understand. Sometimes I hear people give advice and it's kind of convoluted and I'm just like, I don't even understand it.
where are we?
Yeah, I got lost. Wait, you need to go back. And you have actually been very detailed, very simple words, but at the same time, you've said a lot. So I think a lot of our listeners are going to find a use in this. Before I let you go, I wanted to give you space to tell our listeners and our viewers where they can come find you. If there's anybody from Charlotte, North Carolina, that's looking for a place, for anybody who wants to learn about how to use YouTube for their own businesses, whether it's real estate or anything, the floor is yours.
I love it. So thank you for the opportunity. Hopefully those listening got some information or got that push that you needed when you've been saying, yeah, I'll do YouTube at some point. Just dive in. Like, it's the only way you're going to do it. You're not going to come up with 100 videos tomorrow, but just do one at a time. Now, easiest place to follow me is at Kayla Lindsay Realtor, Kaila Lindsay Realtor, on Instagram. I have a ton of content that I put on out there for those that are looking for the knowledge on how to work YouTube. Now, with that also being said, I've coached for years at various things, whether it be cold calling or how to work FISBOs for those not in real estate, for sale by owners. how to work your database, how to build a team, whatever it was, I was always coaching on it. And over the last 2 years, I've dove in quite deep into teaching people how to master YouTube. And it has been so exciting. I have 2 courses that are my larger courses that take you from step A to Z and beyond. And it even goes into what to do with a website, which that's a question that I get a lot. And I know we were talking about this just the other day. Websites are extremely powerful. And I feel like they're really been looked over lately as WordPress has come out and some of those simple ones, where it's just like a placeholder that lets you exist on the internet. That's great and all, but there's so much in depth that you can do, not only with YouTube, but with the support of a website that'll help boost your sales. So you can find me there again at Kayla Lindsay Realtor. I have my link up in the top of my bio. You can go ahead and click in there, book a call with me. I am here to help you kick butt at YouTube. And that's my jam. That's what I love to do. And there's so many different ways to do it. If you already have a channel and you're like, yeah, but how can this help? I actually do offer channel audits as well. And you might glean a little bit just by having someone review it and see what you're doing well and what you need to tweak.
Awesome. Yeah, I will be adding your links to the description of this so that people can go ahead and find you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for being here today.
I love it. Thank you all. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Fully Managed, brought to you by Penji. Check out the show notes to learn more about today's guest, and to learn more about Penji, the human-first creative subscription service, head over to penji.co. And by the way, if you're still listening, it would mean the absolute world to us if you were to share this podcast with a friend and, of course, subscribe.